Hi guys, welcome! In this video, we'll talk about One Punch Man's Genos, which is one of the new collab classes in Ragnarok Mobile Eternal Love. Genos can deal continuous magic damage per second to enemies using his rechargeable incendiary gun, thus making him a really strong magic class. In this guide, we'll explore how to build a Genos character for PVE. We'll talk about which stats, skills, runes, gears, cards, and upgrades are needed to prepare you in advance before the One Punch Man collab event arrives. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. First up, let's take a look at Genos' skills. Genos follows the design of hero classes, which only have a single skill tree with a core passive skill that is upgraded via runes, while the other skills are upgraded using the usual job points. Genos' core passive skill is called Demon Cyborg, which is his special anti-fatal skill. Instead of dying, Genos will enter the modification state, which is marked by a yellow vignette on the screen and a spinning cog icon on top of his head. Modification lasts for 7 seconds, wherein he can neither attack nor use any skill. At the end of modification, Genos will be resurrected with full HP and SP if the number of attacks he receives is less than 9 hits at max level. That means if he receives 9 or more hits within the 7-second period, he will truly die. Take note that monsters consume 3 hits for each attack, so Genos will really die with just 3 hits from monsters. At level 4, modification has an added effect which passively disarms surrounding enemies within 3 meters, lasting for 2 seconds. This effect triggers every 2 seconds and may help ensure the success of modification. And lastly, at max level 7, attacks and skills will no longer be prohibited during modification, meaning he can still continue dealing damage. This is the reason why it's good to activate all second line of his runes. Next, let's take a look at Genos' attack skills. First is Incendiary Gun, which launches an energy cannon in front, dealing a single burst of fire magic damage to all enemies within a 3 by 10 meter area. And with a Spark Flow passive, it will deal 100% additional wind element damage. What's unique about Genos compared to other magic classes is that Strength and Wit boost his damage significantly more than it does. Take note that the 0.2 second cast preparation before casting Incendiary Gun is not affected by both variable and fixed cast time reduction items. Second is Rechargeable Incendiary Gun, which is a channeling skill that is somewhat similar to Lightbringer's Photon Cannon. It continuously deals fire and wind magic damage every 0.3 seconds to all enemies in front, with each tick equivalent to 50% of Incendiary Gun damage. Thus, it's more suitable for long fights. However, it consumes 3% current SP every 0.3 seconds, and it will be automatically cancelled when his SP is less than 20%. To solve his SP problems, you need to have an adequate supply of blue potions in your inventory and set it up to be used automatically when your SP is lower than 40%. This star rune can further boost rechargeable incendiary guns damage by up to 30%. The third and last attack skill of Genos is Mechanical Punch, which is also a good crowd control skill. It throws a mechanical punch to a target within 6 meters or up to 9 meters with this S rune, dealing neutral element magic damage to the target and surrounding enemies. Moreover, all enemies hit will be pulled together to the target's location and immobilized for 2 seconds. It's a handy skill to use in Oracle and Echoing Corridor to gather all the mobs in one place before channeling Rechargeable Incendiary Gun. Next, Genos has several buff skills and they are as follows. First is Lightning Seal, which is a buff that you can switch on and off. When turned on, it boosts magic damage by 20% and both wind and fire element damage by 30%, and thus it greatly boosts Genos' offensive power. However, it consumes 1% of max SP per second and it will be automatically switched off once the SP is depleted. And with this star rune, Lightning Seal will further boost Genos' damage output as it increases both strength and wit by 1 to 30 points. Another buff is Electrical Gyration, which consumes 30% of Genos' current HP in order to restore 60% of his max SP and reduce the damage received by 30% for 3 seconds. This skill can help ensure that your SP won't easily get depleted when both rechargeable incendiary gun and lightning seal are active. Electrical gyration has a 13-second cooldown, so you need to time it correctly. With this S rune, the duration of damage reduction buff can be extended to up to 8 seconds, improving Genos' survivability in battle. Next, we have Scan, which is a debuff that reduces the magic damage reduction of all enemies in a fan-shaped area in front of Genos. This is essential in boosting the magic damage of not only yourself but also other magic DPS members in the party. It can also remove the hiding status and even reduce the movement speed of enemies in the area with this star rune. Scan lasts for 10 seconds and has a cooldown of 10 seconds, and thus it can have 100% uptime provided that you manually activate it every time. Next, we have Swift Momentum, which is Genos' displacement skill that lets him move quickly to a distance of up to 9 meters. Moreover, it refreshes the cooldown of Mechanical Punch and can even disarm enemies in the path for 1 to 3 seconds with this S rune. Similar with other displacement skills, Swift Momentum is banned in certain instances like Museum Island and Lost Isle. Lastly, these are the other passive skills of Genos. First is Firepower Upgrade, which boosts magic attack by 15% and max HP by 30% after a successful modification state. This effect lasts for 10 minutes but will be removed when dying or changing maps. Second is Mechanical Shell, which for every tank strength increases both physical damage reduction and melee physical damage reduction by 1%. So at 300 total strength, he will gain 30% reduction. Thus, this passive will improve Genos' survivability both in PVE and PvP. And the last one is Rapid Response, which boosts Flee by 50 and Crit Rest by 30. Also, when Genos evades an attack, it refreshes the cooldown of Swift Momentum. However, it has limited use in PvE since Agi is not a priority. Up next, let's discuss the most important runes to get. For Acer Monument, hero classes only gain attributes when nodes are activated, and there are no nodes that modify the effects of skills, making it really straightforward for new players. As a simple guide, just focus on upgrading the nodes that grant magic damage increase, ignore MDef, wind damage, fire damage, percent magic attack, strength, vit, int, and raw magic attack. For advanced runes, hero classes are heavily rune dependent due to the new mechanics of upgrading the core passive skill, wherein the second line of all 3-star runes and 3 S runes should be activated to max the core passive. The skill runes for Genos are as follows. First, we have the star rune for rechargeable incendiary gun, which boosts its damage by up to 30%. This is Genos' primary damaging skill, and thus it's necessary to aim for a value that is close to the upper limit. Second is a star rune for a lightning seal, which boosts both strength and vit by 1 to 30 points when lightning seal is turned on. As mentioned earlier, these two stats significantly increases Genos' damage, and hence getting a high value would further boost his DPS. Third is a star rune for Scan, which slows down the movement of enemies in the area by 30 to 80%. This debuff will make it difficult for enemies to walk away from the AoE of Genos' rechargeable incendiary gun. Fourth is the S rune for Swift Momentum, which stops enemies in the path from attacking for 1 to 3 seconds. This can help prevent dying during the modification state. Fifth is the S rune for Mechanical Punch, which increases its casting range from 6 meters to up to 9 meters. Mechanical Punch is a good skill for dragging and clumping enemies to a desired location, so a longer casting range would be nice to have. And last is the S rune for Electrical Gyration, which prolongs the duration of the damage reduction effect from 3 seconds to up to 8 seconds. A longer duration would fairly improve Genos' survivability. It's recommended that all 6 runes have activated second line to continuously use rechargeable incendiary gun and other skills while in modification state. As for attribute runes, just focus on the following for improving damage. Up next, let's take a look at the important stats to upgrade. For attribute point distribution, strength and wit should be maxed out since according to the damage formula for Genos' attack skills, these two stats will provide the highest damage increase. As for the remaining points, allocation depends on which items you'll be using. For the spell crit build, which uses a combination of these items, put all remaining points on luck since every 6 luck increases spell crit damage by 1%. But if you don't have spell crit items, then you can allot the remaining points on int instead for increasing magic attack. Another item that may affect your stat distribution is a beautiful ensemble tail headwear wherein you need to first adjust all attributes to at least 119 points each before distributing the remaining points on strength, wit, and luck. Among Genos' skills, only Mechanical Punch has cast time, so Dex, VCT, and FCT reduction are not important for this build. As for damage multipliers, prioritize increasing magic attack percent, magic damage increase, magic penetration, ignore MDef, skill damage, elemental damage, and damage to MVP. As a general rule for clearing the current late game instances, should aim for 200% ignore MDef, 80% MPen, 50% skill damage, and 90% wind and fire damage. Up next, let's dive into the gears, cards, and other upgrades. First, for weapon, a plus 15 unlimited is the best in slot due to the additional 60% magic AoE skill damage. A good alternative is the Vault Lightning Punch, which is the exclusive weapon for Genos. The materials for crafting, upgrading, and synthesizing this new weapon are as follows. Your weapon should be enchanted with high strength and luck, and inlaid with Shell Chapet Star card and Seed of Yggdrasil card. For offhand, you may either get a Devil's Skull with 30% Ignore MDef or Wisdom Totem with 18% magic damage. It should be enchanted with Insight 4 and inlaid with Wicked Sunflower Star card. For armor, I recommend getting a Dream Eater's Disguise with 20% elemental damage or 15% MPen, enchanted with high strength and luck, and inlaid with Boitata Star card or Munak Star card. For garment, the best in slot is a classic robe with 12% skill damage, enchanted with Arcane 4 and inlaid with Zenobia card. For footgear, you may either use an Orderly Ankle Boots with 6% MPen or Glorious War Boots with 6% magic damage. It should be enchanted with Arcane 4 and inlaid with Edga Star card. For accessories, you may choose any of the following depending on your Ignore MDef stat. If you lack Ignore MDef, then you can equip a Guide's Brooch with 9% MPen or a Ring of Light and Shadow with 15% magic attack. But if you have sufficient Ignore MDef already, then it's better to use Essence of Scorching Flame for boosting fire element damage. Both accessories should be enchanted with Anti-Mage 4 and inlaid with any of the following cards. For headwear, these are my top options for each slot. As for other upgrades, prioritize the following guild buffs: Oracle Mirror Extract and Ancient Relic. Also, don't forget to improve your handbook and get multi-jobs. Finally, let's take a look at the battle setup for using Genos in boss hunting and clearing instances. For the manual skill bar, Genos has 7 active skills, so I just placed Mechanical Punch in the second skill bar. As for the auto skill slot, Rechargeable Incendiary Gun cannot be placed in auto and his buffs cannot be auto-activated while channeling, thus it's better to manually cast all his skills. As for consumables, these are the ones that can help boost your damage. Don't forget to ensure that you have adequate blue potions in your auto potion slot. Before starting, turn on Lightning Seal for boosting magic damage by 20% and both wind and fire element damage by 30%. Then cast Scan to reduce the magic damage reduction of all enemies in a fan-shaped area in front. After that, you can start channeling Rechargeable Incendiary Gun towards the target. You can change its direction by moving the directional wheel to the left. If you want to change your character's position, you may cancel channeling by either tapping the skill again or riding a mount. Make sure to reactivate scan every 10 seconds. If your SP is already below 30%, cast electrical gyration to replenish 60% of your max SP in exchange for 30% of your max HP. If modification fails and you die, don't forget to activate Lightning Seal again after resurrection. So that's it for my Genos build guide for PvE. I hope this video has helped you in your journey in the world of Ragnarok Mobile Eternal Love. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any question or suggestion. Alright, that's it for this video guys. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed watching this guide. If you're new here, I would love you to consider subscribing by hitting the red subscribe button down below. I would love to have you back. Thank you for watching and see you in our next episode.